other off-track, off-circuit matters. And for him, I think at the level Grand Prix, for championship, he has truly achieved so much for himself. At the time when we have the likes of Michael Schumacher, we have the likes of
Lewis Hamilton,
Manuel
Fangio.
Exactly.
These are the only three who has won more titles, world titles in Formula One than Sebastian Vettel.
And of course, 53 races. These men that have done so well for himself. And for me, I just so expect that it's quite early. I would have expected him to wait a little longer, but I mean he is tired. He just want to go home. And a lovely time. We cannot remember him for that run of winning it back to back, and certainly that was the best moment of his career.
Talking about back-to-back win, I remember now it wasn't 2017. It was actually 2010 to 2013. That's when he won 4 titles in back-to-back of Formula One. And like he mentioned there, 53 races in the course of his career. Only 2 other drivers, Schumacher and Lewis Hamilton, has won more races in Formula One than Sebastian Vettel. And like he said, if you're no longer motivated, you have to look at what gives you some joy, and he wants to stay with his family, pursue war climate issues as we go on. So we'd like to wish Sebastian Vettel the very best after this season, when he will be going to family life and of course enjoy some other passion of his. But for Formula One, we'll remember Sebastian Vettel as the man who has 4 titles. In fact, the 3rd most title holder in Formula One, because apart from Lewis Hamilton, that is, of course, you know that equaled Michael Schumacher's records. No other driver apart from Lewis Hamilton and Michael Schumacher has more titles than Sebastian Vettel, who his title is 4 as compared to the 7 held by Lewis Hamilton and Michael Schumacher. So, well, we'll miss this Aston Martin driver, but I'm very sure that it will coming about the imminent retirement of Sebastian Vettel from Formula One. Let's stay away from Formula One. The round of 64 gets underway this weekend, April. Starting from tomorrow, Rivers United are expected to be in action against Jakarta FC. We were supposed to have Michael Charles here, but for reasons which is we don't want to know, pulling out of the AT Cup or the Federations Cup, but they are supposed to be in action against Jakarta FC in Owerri tomorrow.
Yeah, for Rivers United, I think that a whole lot. I mean, they're looking above this one now. At timing very well. So also acquired the services of some new entrants coming from other clubs who have done very well in the league. So for me, I think that for them, they are looking at this one as secondary, not the primary target of the team going forward.
Talking about Rivers United, they're not taking the Federation Cup seriously, but let's see what happens tomorrow in the Dana Yam Stadium in Owerri. 4 p.m. is match time, and still looking at some pairings at the round of 64. Bayelsa United will be in a bat tomorrow up against 07 FC, while it will be the turn of EFCC against Green Beret from Green Beret in Mina. Enyimba International of Aba will be in Benin against Ijebu United. That match is coming up 2 p.m. tomorrow in Benin, while Dreams FC will take on Niger Tornadoes in Enugu at 2 p.m. Nigerian time. Apex Crane will take on Doma United at the Old Parade Ground in Abuja. ABS of FC will take on Lobby Stars in Kaduna, same tomorrow at 4 p.m. Newu United will take on Akure City Academy by 4 p.m. at Warri Township Stadium. Insurance Feeders will take on Danas FC of Ilorin at Ilorin at 2 p.m. Rangers International Aba in the round of 64 will take on ABJ FC at the FIFA Goal Project in Abuja. A lot of matches in the round of 64, and of course, you know, thereafter it will go to the next round. We would like to wish the teams the best of luck. It is the FA Cup round, and of course, it is knockout, so you have to win to move to the next round. Stay away from football. The UFF Women's Football Department, of course, club managers have completed the first stage of preparation for the new season. The women are looking more determined and more, but do I say more prepared for ahead of the next season.
Yeah, they are. The women game now gradually is building momentum, and at the time when we've even seen it there in Europe, in Africa, I don't think that there is any league that will not be that will not also want to gain that. So for me, it's not out. That second day consecutive
will be completed before December. There will be another 11-match day with teams who play in the spring coming up in the year 2023. For the very first time in the history of Ukrainian women football, we are told that they will have to face off between two teams that will represent Ukraine in the UEFA Women's Champions League for 2023-2024. Of course, you know what's happening in Ukraine as we speak. We hope that the war will be able to allow these plans of the league for women to translate. Ukrainian women are not known for playing top-level European football.
Not known at all, but I mean, what more can we say? The world is sympathetic to their plea and to the crisis rocking at their town. And so anything that comes from Ukraine these days tends to naturally build momentum, you know, if you look at it from that angle. So for me, if they want to start building a female league, it will not be out of place. I just hope that, I'm just thinking the modalities on ground and to see how far they can compete. In the UEFA Champions League, they have always sent Kiev, you know, that's their club. You know, they always have representatives from that side. At some point, unfortunately, recently it's not been. We don't even have their male counterparts, you know, playing their trades at in the UEFA Champions League. So let's see if, since the UEFA Women's Champions League is gradually coming up, let's see if they can have a team that will represent them. If they do, that would be very fantastic. Don't forget that they are mainstream, you know, country in Europe, and certainly they want to be part of everything.
Well, let's hope that there will be an atmosphere for them to compete at the top level in Europe. Talking about Europe reminds me that this is a season of transfer in Europe. Top clubs, especially in the Premiership, are using the opportunity to shove off and, of course, improve on the weak departments of their squad. And Everton, one of the top teams in the Premier League, have signed Burnley winger Dwayne McNeil on a 5-year contract deal. We are told that deal is worth about £20 million. April.
£20 million for McNeil. Yeah, he was one of the stronghold of Burnley, you know, and for me, a lot of clubs will be coming out from that side, knowing fully well what happened to them, you know, last season when they were nailed down. For me, it's a good way to go. When these players were the bulk, they, you know, form the bulk of players that helped Burnley and helped them to achieve those glorious outings. We know them for back then, since 2012 when they came into the league. So for me, it's it's lovely to not see other players. Some players who don't want to be down with them, they are coming back to the Premier League to showcase their career, move on with their career. For me, it's a lovely one. I hope that this will help build the team and ensure that they achieve success.
Let's hope that Burnley will get benefit from this. Like we mentioned, £20 million, and there should be more goals coming from McNeil for Everton. We know that playing for Burnley last time, we saw him make 140 appearances, and of course just missed 2 Premier League games since 2018. So it looks like a more consistent player. He's actually played for the under-20 side of the English national team. So I think he's on the verge of going big in the days ahead. Meanwhile, from FC Barcelona, we are hearing that they have agreed to sign the centre-back French defender Jules Koundé from Sevilla. Koundé, one of the notable defenders in the UEFA Champions League last season, has now moved to FC Barcelona for a reported fee of about €50 million. FC Barcelona is splashing cash as if they are Manchester City or maybe Chelsea of the Euro.
Yeah, you wonder why they are doing that, but all thanks to the television rights, TV right D, you know, that they've sold for 25 years. They've been selling it based on percentages, and I'm afraid that what happened during the era of Baltimore, or repeat it's Matty Baltimore, but I think that this man, Laporte, knows what he's doing, and he's gradually building the team. What they want to do is to see how far they can win more titles. Don't forget that very soon they will not be playing in the Camp Nou Stadium, which forms a bulk of the percentage of revenue that comes to the club. For them now, they now have enough money to get. No surprise why they were able to get Lewandowski for £45 million and try to get other players. You know, for Jules Koundé, is one of the players a lot of clubs are gunning for, and for him, they want to build a team where they start winning titles, fans will start coming in. You know, a lot of sponsorship deal will also start coming in so that they can gain back the strength of the club. So I'm not surprised what they're doing. I just hope that these players will, Xavi, the coach of the side, will be able to blend this player, because we have started seeing a star-studded side for Barca this coming season. I think it will be an easy one as they want to contend for the title and also for the UEFA Champions League.
FC Barcelona signing French defender Koundé, who has played 11 times for the French national team since 2021 when he did first join the French national squad. Talking about his performances for FC Seville, he's been with Seville for, he's played about 133 games for FC Seville in the Spanish league, and of course a notable face in the Europa League last time around. Let's hope that his move will be good out there for FC Barcelona. Still looking at what's happening in Europe. Tomorrow we will have the Community Shield. That's a prelude of the tournament before the kickoff of the Premier League in England. If the Community Shield comes on, given that the Community Shield gets off tomorrow, it means that by the next 7 days we'll be having the Premier League get started. But this is a prelude to the Premier League Community Shield. It will be FC Liverpool against Manchester City. Community Shield is for winner of the league, and of course the FA Cup to kick off the season. FC Barcelona, Liverpool. We've seen them do very well in the transfer market. The same for Manchester City. There is a certain Nunes, of course, you remember him, who has joined, and of course for City, there is an Erling Haaland, who has joined. So these are some new players that are making waves for both club sides. These new players have opportunity to show to their fans, their new fans, what they can deliver ahead of the season.
Yeah, they do. They do have an opportunity for Manchester City. I think it's. This is one of the ways to kick off the season for them. They will want to win this one to see how far they can also blossom. And for Liverpool, they have a lot of injury concerns now. They were able to win their game yesterday 1-0, but somehow they've not been. I think Jurgen Klopp is trying to test some of the new players and see how their adaptability can help the club. Because it seems more like in their defensive framework they've not had a stable. Sometimes it's difficult to really pinpoint the outline or the template for his defense. Those that will be measuring a different defensive assignment. And for me, that's what I want to watch out for tomorrow. How these two sides. Obviously, a lot of us have argued that they will continue to dominate English football in the next couple of years because of the modalities and the structure that these two managers have come up with. So for me, a whole lot of things to watch out for tomorrow, not just because of the signings that they have gone. I want to see how those signings will replicate in the result that will come in. For Erling Haaland is one man who is so brutal, and I expect to see him kick off that mentality. This is the first time officially we shall see them compete since they came into the club. For Nunes and other players that they've gotten so far, I expect to see. Now that we don't have Sadio Mane, in the club, I also expect to see Liverpool how they're going to have a new trio, because a lot of them have argued against Firmino being one of the key strikers for Liverpool. So a whole lot for experts tomorrow to look out for, as the first game of the season, that first game that kick off the season starts tomorrow in the Community Shield. Community
Shield, winner of the FA Cup versus the winner of the league. Manchester City winner of the league against FA Cup winner FC Liverpool. Let's hope that that will be a spectacle coming up tomorrow. I think that match will be taking place in Sheffield tomorrow. That will be much we can take on this edition of Sports Talk. Definitely we'll be back later at 6 p.m. Nigerian time for Sports Extraordinary, where we will bring you more updates from the latest from the world of sport. But for now, remember, we are on Twitter. Atlantic TV Net is the point where we can continue to interact there. If you're on Facebook and YouTube, let's interact at Atlantic Television Network. Are you on Instagram? No problem. At Atlantic TV Network will be a point of interaction. As usual, remember that peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Enjoy here, always on Atlantic Television Network.
The people making the difference in our time on ATN Icons. Here, we present you legends celebrated for their heroism in different fields and serve as role models today. ATN Icons, showing every Sunday 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. on Atlantic Television Network. StarTimes